Man, is this thing live yet? Is this thing live yet? Can you guys see me? Can you guys see me? I need to know if you guys can see me or not. Can you see me? Because if you can, look, this is your intro for today. No, it's not, is it? Hey, is it? It is. It's working. Look, that's the intro you're getting for today, guys. All right. All right. What's up, everybody? How are y'all doing today? I hope all is well with you. All. I honestly have no clue what is going on right now with all this stuff. And I know. I know. And I was sitting there, and before all this started, I was sitting there. I was like, I know that Santa is already sitting here busting my chops, talking about Boomer and my technology and it not working. Because, dude, I'm telling you right now, I'm not sure what happened. I was sitting here at the house watching Josh's morning stream. I was watching Adam's morning stream. I was here on my computer the whole time. Then I went out to the garage, did a little warm up in case. I know maybe some of you guys have heard. Let me get this thing sized up right here again. I know you guys have probably heard some bad takes out there from a whole lot of people. Regarding working out all the time and being part of the problem, and people not working out enough to get fit for roles and all of those different kinds of things. I know you've probably heard those things out there, but right now I'm on a rest week. So I just went out to the garage, did some warm-ups, got warmed up for the day, just did a little bit of moving around, get the heart pumping, the blood flowing. Gonna go for a nice little ride again later this afternoon with my kids. We rode to get some pizza yesterday. I apologize again for the delay. Technology, man. It's technology, bro. It's technology. It's what it is. But thank you all so much for being here. Yeah. Yeah. 1 hour late to the chat. Yeah, I'm gonna be way behind on the chat. Yeah, I don't even know what's going on, dude. Like, it's so weird because my computer, like, I'm getting on the internet. It's saying there's no internet connected, and then I get on OBS and it's trying to connect. It's not connecting, and I'm telling you, you guys see me. I was literally just on the streams interacting with you. I was on my computer. Then I don't even know. Then I tried to go live on my phone, and it said I was live, and I was talking to you all, and it seemed like it was working. But then everybody's sitting there like, "Oh, he's still not on. He's late." And I'm like, "What? What are you talking about, dude?" I was sitting here talking to my phone for like almost 10 minutes because it told me I was live. Like, it's got this little counter right here. It's got this little counter, this little timer, and it says, however long I've been going. It was telling me that I was going for like 10 minutes. And then I realized I was looking at the chats. I'm like, dude, like, nobody seriously sees me. And I seen it said there were 0 people in here, but I seen people chatting. I'm like, okay, so maybe I'm not live? And that's when I figured out I'm not live. And so, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. But thank you all so much for being here today. Hopefully this gets cleared up soon, because I have some plans for some live streams with some people. I already got a one guest lined up to come on the show. I've got some other people in mind we're going to bring on the show as well. We're gonna do a show. Start doing a show here on the channel called, I think I'm just going to call it Nerd Therapy. Is what we're going to call it. We're going to get together and we're going to just talk about different things going on out there in the nerd culture. So, oh, sure. Oh, okay. All right. Right. Oh. We did switch internet, like, vice versa, right? Oh my. Boomer says, yeah, no. I know. Look, Trinity is streaming. You know what? I'm gonna come up with a metal version of that. I'm gonna be saying like, Trinity. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Should we do it like death metal? Trinity. Or should we do it like, I don't know, should we do it like Screamo style? Trinity. Or should we'll do it my favorite style. We'll do it like some aggressive hardcore. That's my favorite. Like me, like when I was in a band, like the stuff I like to do is it's somewhere in between Madball I like to call it aggressive hardcore. It's like Pantera-ish, but kind of Madball-ish. It's a little right there. I'm True Skills. Thank you for being here. Harvey Mirrorless, thank you for being here. LB the Lonely Banter, Mike Porter. I seen Gray in here. XR Coon. Lots of great people in here. I see. As always great people. Like I said, let me know what's up in the chat. Like I said, it's hard to see on my phone right now because like I said, but you know what's funny is here I can even show you. That's what's funny is I can even show you my internet connection here on my computer. It says it's working. It literally says that it's working. It literally says that it's working right now. And I go to get on my computer and it's telling me that there's no internet. So, I don't know. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about yeah, make it effing brutal. Hell yeah. We'll do that. Brutal. Oh, okay. Now, see, look. Now it wants to work. Ugh. This stupid crap, dude. I'm telling you, like, and you guys seem to, like, Streamlet, yeah, it was all disagreeing with me. It wasn't wanting to work. But anyway, guys, I wanted to, again, thank you. See, I'm all flustered now. I'm flustered. When do we get to see that 10 minutes of talking to no one? We can't because it didn't even record on anything. Like, it's not even showing up. Like, I was sitting here, like, talking, and I'm like, dude, like, nobody's reacting because I was talking to people in the chat. Because I seen XR Kuna, I seen you in here. I seen everybody in here saying what's up, and I was sitting there talking, and, like, nobody was reacting, and I'm like, oh, man. Well, yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, OBS here on my phone, just like it does right now. Here, OBS here on my phone, like it's like here on this point, like you can't see it right here, but right here it shows the little guy, and it shows the people count, and then it shows 1080p, and then it shows how long I've been live. Well, it literally showed the little guy. It showed 0. It showed 1080p, and it showed that I was live in the red numbers, the countdown. It said that I was live, and that's why I was sitting there talking. I'm like, how comes nobody's reacting to me? And that's what I was sitting there asking, like the last minute or two. I was like, am I live? Because I know there's a delay. I was like, am I live? Stop using phone. Well, I had to. My computer wasn't working. That's why I'm on my phone now. But let's be honest, guys. This is probably a better phone quality than what you're used to. This is probably a better image quality than what you're used to seeing here on the show. Maybe I just need to start using this. Maybe I just need to start using my phone. Oh, that Hawkeye Freefall had an awesome ending. You know what, Iron True Skills? I won't know for another 6 months because I'm not buying it. I'm not going there, man. I'm not doing it. Man, I don't know. Is this something I'm holding on to? But that brings me kind of to what I wanted to talk about today, guys. Is when it comes to comic books, and let me know your feelings. Aloys Doddle, thank you so much for being here. My computer decided to update right in the middle of the Nerd Card Show. Yeah, I seen it updated right in the middle thing. Yeah, and I was sitting here like, dude, I was getting ready to smash my computer. I was like, no, I'll just get on my phone. Everything was kind of resetting. I was like, I'll get on my phone. And I went to get on my phone, and that's why I said it was live. Anyway, fix your computer. It's not the computer. Like, it was the internet for whatever reason. So I went through. I reset the computer. I reset my internet and everything, and it's finally. Man, who knows, man? Who knows? Have you defragged the computer lately? It could be causing you some problems. Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, I do probably need to defrag. I probably do need to do that. I mean, yeah. Anyway, guys, moving on. Did you see my Cali comment? Yes, I did, XR Coon. Yeah, that you'll be making it out here, but you won't be near Lancaster. Hey, man, it's all good. Like, cause where I live at is about an hour north. So depending on which way you're coming from, it might not be. Like, chances are, if you're flying into LAX ever, maybe even into Burbank, you fly right over where I live at. Almost from any direction, I believe. From any direction that I recall anytime I've flown in. Yeah, fix your internet. Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. It could have just been the fact that it needed to reboot. But anyway, guys, what I want to talk about today is like comic books. You know, we see a lot about movies and everything. You know, over on Adam's stream. And seeing that was the thing. I was over here plugging Adam. I was plugging Josh and them, and I was talking about what they were talking about, and then I was getting ready. Anyway. Anyway, guys, a lot of stuff happening out there. We see that there's some drama going on with yeah, with man, see, I'm just all flustered. Some drama going on over in the DCEU. I'm not sure if you guys caught LB's video about it yesterday, but got some drama going on over there. Den and Nerds did a pretty good video on it yesterday as well, and then they were talking a little bit about that this morning. Now the thing is like here's what it is. You need to update drivers, scan for malware, clean cookies, cache, and when all that done, defrag. I done told you about this, but you know, too busy talking about me on streams and videos. Yeah, no. Well, like a lot of times I do that. Like I'll go through and I'll clear the cache, clear the cookies, and all of that kinds of stuff. And it's probably just time to do it again. That's probably all it is. But plus, and honestly, here's the real thing is my computer is old too. It's a 2011. It's a 2011. It's like my computer is boomer status. Right? Yeah, like my computer is boomer status. Oh. You two need to do a regular stream together. I know, you know what, but LB don't like me, dude. All he likes to do is talk about me. All he likes to do. Yes, Two Gun Pedro, that just came in yesterday. I'm going to shoot a video. Thank you so much. I'm going to shoot a video and do that. And that's one of the things I wanted to ask you guys. That was the subject of today's video is I wanted to talk a little bit about comic books and what do you want out of comic books. You know, when you go to a movie, you want something out of it. You know, when you read a comic book, you want something out of it. What do you want? Do you always want the same thing? You know, some people want to be entertained. Some people look at it as escapism. For me, like I said, I look at it as comic books, movies, and things like that are a form of art. They're a form of expression. Music, it's a form of expression. These are ways that people use to communicate their feelings or just use, you know, for whatever reason. It's kind of their platform for expressing themselves. And it's something, right, okay, great, Boomer right there with me. Snowdub, thank you so much for being here. But what do you want out of these things? Is that what you want? Do you just want escapism? Because a lot of people say about, like, you know, the comic books, the movies, and things like that, like, it's escapism. And while it certainly is, I do certainly feel like it can be that because it can be entertaining. I feel like a lot of times there is a point where these are also these artistic mediums in which people use to express themselves in whatever way there is. And that's why most of the times I like to see. I want good stories, and if you have a story out there that you want to tell, it doesn't matter what it is. Can you do it? Can you write a good story and put it together like a good comic book or even a movie? Make it be thought-provoking. Make people think while telling your perspective. Instead of, you know, we see so much stuff now that's just so basic and cookie cutter, and it's beating you over the head with a point instead of just telling a good thought-provoking story. And oftentimes I feel that's really what the problem is. People talk about the politics and stuff, and often I feel when it comes to that, it's just the fact that the politics that are in there, it's not that somebody don't agree or disagree with them, because we see a lot of movies have that in there. You know, some of my favorite movies are politically charged kind of movies. Some of my favorite comic books are as well. So that's the thing is, but the difference is in the way that the storytelling is done, as opposed to, you know, just, I mean, really, that's what it is can it be well written? You know, can you tell your story in a thought-provoking way that brings audiences in and makes them want to see it? Like in comic books, that's the thing is on a lot of comic books, I'm willing to give a little bit in the art department for that great story. I want a great story to go along with great art, though. So sometimes when you get a marriage of the two, it's perfect, right? When you get a book that's got great art, it's got great story, and that's the ultimate. But those books like that seem like they're hard to come by. Seem like they're getting harder and harder to come by. And there's all kinds of avenues for you to go out there and look into comic books for things like that. You know, there's plenty of indie books, like I've talked about before. You know, because a lot of people, not everybody's into superheroes, but does that mean that comic books aren't for you? Comic books absolutely can be for you, because, you know, what do you want? You want a detective story? Do you want a murder mystery? Do you want a horror book? Do you want a post-apocalyptic kind of book? What do you want? The Walking Dead, that was literally a comic book before, right? Hey, I'm just saying. So that's ultimately what it is, and now we see a lot of people will even be out there talking about how there are a lot of people out there creating comics now and just trying to get into comics just so they can get into films. And a lot of these books are really just pitches and scripts for movies. There is that argument out there, and hey, a lot of people use a lot of different ways and mediums to get into making movies, into making music, and things like that anyway. So really, I kind of feel like while that is possibly happening, I also kind of feel like that's what people do. You got to find your way in. And that's why a lot of people, like people who want to be actors and want to be musicians and things like that, just all of those different things, it's something that they start learning at birth. You know what I mean? They start. Their parents get them into different things, or maybe their interest just goes that way, and they get into it. That's ultimately what it is, and you find your way into other things just by the avenues in which just life progresses. So I don't know. I don't know. But what is it that you yourself like out of comic books? Let me know down in the comments below. And now that this thing is back up, I'm gonna see if I can at least get to where I can read you guys' comments a little bit easier here. Instead of having to squint, I'm gonna start squinting. I got contacts on and I can read just fine, but like the print's so small, I'm sitting here having to like get all close. You know what I'm saying? Or do you guys want those close-ups? Do you guys like those? It's all good. It's all good. Let me see here. My channel. I'm gonna have to mute this thing. Okay, it's already muted. There we go. There we go. Now I'll just pop out the chat because I don't think I need much more than that, do I? I don't know. Let's see. There we go. We're coming up here. We're coming up here. We're getting the chat popped out here so I can read a little bit easier. I don't know, and I don't know. I was gonna say, and is the camera quality here that much? It probably is that much better than it normally is on my computer, huh? Yeah, I know it is because this is going in 1080 where my computer only goes in 720. Eric Heine with a $1.99 super chat. Says, what do you think of Batman Beyond live action? I've never read the comic book and I've never really watched the cartoon. I mean, I've seen a couple of episodes, but hey, I'm into it. Let's see it. Let's see it. With everything they're doing and everything they're putting together, it seems like they're working on something. You know what I mean? They're definitely working on something with everything they've got going on. Okay. Oh man, look at that! It even brought up live chat, not top chat. Oh, okay. I'll pop it out and it goes top chat though. All right. Now let's get that back over here. No, over here. There we go. There we go. Who knows? There's probably just an update that just needed to be done. I don't know. Camera quality sucks. It's not 24K. Get it together. I know, man. Low budget. Hashtag low budget. Your politics bore me. Yeah, right? And that's the thing. Like, the politics, I think they can be done in a book and things like that. If you do them thought provoking, if you do them something that really just makes people think, because that's what like I said, some of my favorite movies and things like that, they are like politically charged in that same vein. But it's when it ultimately comes down to good storytelling. Can you tell a good story? Is often what it is. And I'll tell you one thing. And here's one thing I was thinking about too is people. There's always going to be people with everything we see going on out there in the world. People talking about like, oh, like racism sucks. We need to end racism and all this stuff. Like, look, we're never going to get rid of racism. There's always going to be racist people out there. And there's more people than just white people out there that are racist too. Do you know that like in a lot of nations they don't like to marry and and all those things. Interlope and all those different kinds of things with people outside of their own race, their own nationality. I mean, one could easily say that's racist, right? But that's the thing is, it's tradition, right? It's the same kind of thing. So, I mean, it's something that you're never going to get rid of. All these kinds of things are something you're never going to get rid of. And wouldn't you rather have these people outed? And I was getting ready to go somewhere with this, going along with that. Wish I could get rid of you. Oh, I know it. Yeah, I know, man. But I get tired of seeing all these stories because, like I said, you're never gonna get rid of this stuff. But like, you see, I recently read a comic book that was telling a story about these characters. They are gay characters and everything, and they're closeted and all that stuff. And I'm sitting there kind of like this book. It's like to me, like the way that it comes off, like obviously things in the past, but obviously things will never change. There's always going to be people who don't have their thoughts about the gay community and stuff like that, and people are always going to feel a certain way. But aren't we kind of beyond that? Like the whole thing, like it's like, as much as people do or don't like it, it's pretty much normal. I mean, I think everybody in the world probably knows a gay person, you know. I think for the most part, people are okay with it, right? When it comes to those kinds of things, and so reading these kind of books where I see all this stuff, and there's people like they're futuristic tales, people being bigoted people, and people being closeted and all that kind of stuff, and the whole thing. I'm like, wasn't this like, this is like stuff that's like we're like right now in society, we're beyond a lot of what I read in some of these books when they write this kinds of stuff in there. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of confusing to me. I'm like, it's almost like you want this idea, perpetuating this idea, and you want it to exist and keep going that way, as opposed to just kind of the world that I actually live in when I walk outside and see people in society, where people are just like, hey, like most of the people I know that are gay, you probably wouldn't know it if by talking to them. I mean, it might take you a little while, and some are obvious, but that's the thing, is like, it's like normal. So seeing some of these stories where like it's like, we're back, in the 50s, 60s, kind of like it seems like race issues are going back to again. Like, it seems like it's just perpetuating these kinds of things. Just like, I don't know. Like, I think these stories could be told in a better way. So that's why when I see certain books, when I see stuff like that, I'm like, oh, like they actually like see, it's in the story. It's part of the story. It's not what's driving the story. Where in some of them, that's what's driving the story. I'm kind of like, aren't we beyond that? Aren't we beyond that? Like most of us, not like I said, not everybody is, because there's always going to be people out there that are like that. Like I was saying about racism, there's always going to be racist people out there. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. So like, I don't know. Some of these social ills are never going to go away. Some of these things are never going to go away. And even when we do have those people who are out there, these perpetrators of it, if you will, like the actual bad ones, wouldn't you rather those people, be out there and known who they are? I don't know. That's the one thing I don't like about like the whole cancel culture stuff. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like, just let it. It's best that we know who you are, who the bad people are, and that's why I always say honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy when it comes to anything, right? Jewish tradition, biblical names. Talk politics online. Yeah, and I mean politics. Like for me, when it comes to like the politics, like I don't really even do politics, because when it comes to like the politics, I'm pretty simple. We're like it ultimately just comes down to freedom, and there's really. Like, if in case you guys don't know, I'm not a believer neither, and I don't really talk about religion. I'm not a believer, but to me, there's still like there's like these three things that you just shouldn't do, and that's murder, rape, and steal. And those kind of really all. It seems like all those really go all in the same kind of vein, really. These are like the worst crimes. Beyond that, everything's fair. Everything for the most part is, if you just get rid of that, most people would be okay. Don't murder people. Don't perpetrate on people. You know what I'm talking about. Don't do that stuff to people, and and don't steal, right? Pretty simple rule to live by. I think if everybody could just not do those things, we'd probably be okay for the most part as a society. Just don't do those things. I wish beyond that, but there's too many old stagnant people. Well, yeah, no, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, most people are beyond that, and that's what I'm saying. There's always going to be people out there like that. There's always going to be people out there that hold on to those things. There's always going to be people out there that hold on to those things. But I think as for the majority, most people are beyond that, and so therefore in the storytelling, like, it's a little, and that's why I think when it comes to those kinds of issues, it really comes down to better storytelling to tell the stories that people want to tell and should be told when it comes to those kinds of things. Because yeah, some of those things are never going to go away. You're absolutely right. There's always going to be people out there that are like that. Unnatural should not be a norm. Something on here. It is quite creepy when you hit on. You know, most everyone knows natural should not be a norm. Right, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: is like, you also like, that's something I was talking about a while back too. Is there's a difference in the world between acceptance and tolerance. You know what I mean? I think most people are tolerant. Not everybody's accepting. You know, there's a difference, and I think a lot of people expect both out of people. A lot of people expect tolerance and acceptance out of people. Or really, all anybody's really owed is tolerance. But then even that comes to a point too, because you know you don't want to shove things in people's faces. You know what I mean? You like beat them over the head with stuff. So yeah. I'm not an old school tradition. Let the past die if you must. Yeah, and there's some things. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of things that we just need to get past. Eric Honey says, I was talking about a Batman Beyond live action movie with Michael Keaton in it. What do you think? Oh yeah, no, yeah, I knew what you were talking about, Eric. Absolutely, that would be great. I would love to see that because like, you know what? I just want DC to come out with some good movies. I want them to come out with new movies. I want them to come out with good movies. That's all I want. And that could be good. Batman Beyond with Michael Keaton. I mean, Michael Keaton, you got me anyway. I like Michael Keaton. I've always liked Michael Keaton. When I was a little kid, I used to watch Mr. Mom over and over and over and over again. I love that movie. Yeah, Michael Keaton, man. And what about Gung Ho? Gung Ho? You ever seen Gung Ho? Johnny Dangerously? Yeah, I mean, obviously Batman. I mean, he's really been in a lot of great movies. Obviously, you know, Beetlejuice, and I'm not even a big Tim Burton fan. And I like that. There's this one race person I know of. They almost got jumped multiple times, and everyone is absolutely fine with it. Yeah, and that's one of those kinds of things. It's like the Batman thing. It's like just because what was he said? Just because I won't kill you, but that doesn't mean that I have to save you. You know what I mean? And yeah, and that's here's the thing. Here's the thing. When it comes to that, like them getting jumped, like did they actually do something to somebody? I mean, all the verbal abuse is bad in the first place, but did they do something to anybody physically that makes them that you have to jump them? That's where I'm at with that kinds of stuff. Because honestly, to me, jumping somebody is the most chicken shit thing that anybody could do. Yet, we see the Avengers do it in nearly every movie. Ooh, Tony Stark is not a hero. Just saying. Hashtag the Stark Sham. Hashtag Hail Hydra. I need my Stefan shirt. You ever see, Stefan, Saturday Night Live? I don't know. Good stuff. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. He's a believer, a Bieber believer. Yeah. I'm very political red. So much about everything. Try to learn as much as I can, but have learned the hard way not to talk about politics. Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is because most people approach a thing when talking about anything like that people get an emotional stance on is they start responding out of emotion and not rationality. And that's the thing also, is most people are looking to just respond to what you're saying, not to actually listen. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the important things that we as people don't do often enough, is just listen to people. It seems like we're always listening to wait and respond. You know what I mean? But what about just listening? You know, if you just listen, you don't have to agree. You don't have to disagree. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. All you gotta do, all you have to do is listen. Just listen. That's all you gotta do. It's simple. I know. Sometimes, I know. Sometimes it seems like the hardest thing in the world to do, but it's certainly possible. Just follow the golden rule and we'll be good. Absolutely. Absolutely, Steve. Absolutely. It's that easy. Grace says, I'm an atheist. Oh, all right. Yeah, there you go. I was going to say, a lot of my friends are. A lot of my friends are. A lot of people would say I am, but I just, like, because, like, I just, here's something to throw in people's faces, is I don't identify. People wanting to say that I'm an atheist and all that stuff, I've told people, like, you know what? No, that's just you trying to pull me into your religion game, because you have to put me in a box somewhere in your religion game. Because my thing is I think like, when it comes down to it, just like most things, I think everybody's a little bit right and everybody's a little bit wrong. But everybody's got their firmly held beliefs, and nobody is willing to let go just a little bit, to think that maybe all of it is somehow true and all somehow interconnected. It's almost like the MCU, when we get new tidbits and trailers and stuff like that, and we start building theories, and we're like, it's possible, the evidence is there. You know what I mean? And then you get the movie and you're like, oh, dang it, the leaks were right. And maybe in this case, all the leaks are right. Right? Oh, Stories by Irish, thank you so much. Stories by Irish, I got that sent off in the mail to you. It should be there. It should be to you soon. Two Gun Pedro, I removed my thumbs up with all this crazy talk. I'm sorry, Pedro. My bad. What crazy talk was it? Yeah, and see, and that's the thing, is I'm not trying to upset anybody by anything, because my thing is like, I like to hear everybody's opinions. I want to hear everybody's thoughts on things. Ultimately, that's what I want, because without hearing people's thoughts and people's input on things, I myself can't continue to grow myself as a person and understand where somebody else is coming from, and gain perspective from other people's experiences and things like that. And that's my ultimate kind of goal in life, is to experience all of those things through other people, like, so I can learn from people's experiences and stuff like that. That's what I want. You know, that's what I want, is to learn about people, because ultimately, for me, people are fascinating. I'm a people watcher. When we go places like Disneyland and all that stuff, I sit there and I watch people. You know what I mean? I watch people and I observe people and what they're doing on all those kinds of things. And like, I really seriously sit here and think, like, I think deep on a lot of stuff. And that's ultimately what it is. And it was funny because, you know, when my mom comes into town, I'm sure my wife gets tired of it, but me and my mom, sometimes we get into these deep conversations just talking about all kinds of just way out there stuff. And, you know, I remember, you know, like, even when I first moved out here to California, you know, I'd sit there, just have these long conversations just with my mom, just talking about stuff, you know, just about life. You know, things about, like, what is the meaning of life? What's the meaning of this? What's the point of this? Does all of this really mean anything? You know, that's what really gets me when it comes to a lot of these things. And that is why, ultimately, when it comes down to things like the comic books, things like the movies and stuff like that, I like to see all different kinds of thoughts and perspectives and different things going on in the comic books. I just want to see it done in a good way that is entertaining, that is thought-provoking, and things like that. I don't want to see CNN, what I'm seeing right on the TV, just put down in a comic book. That's too easy. Anybody could do that. And when I say anybody, I mean in the fact that, if you can draw at least decently, you can just look on the TV and basically, look and trace and see what's going on the TV and do that and put that directly into a comic book. That to me is just lazy. I just want a good storytelling. You can tell the same story, but do it in a different way. You know what I mean? Because we all know that news organizations and stuff like that, they're all biased one way or another. But that's what I want. You know, I want good comic books that are well written, thought provoking, have good art, have great stories, and I've seen a lot of them coming out. I've seen a lot of them coming out. Like I've sat here and talked about on this show plenty of times that you guys need to go check out Vault Comics. Vault Comics puts out a lot of great books dealing with, just that have different perspectives in them, depending on what story that you want to read. I got another video that I'm working on talking about the Axelverse, which is AWA Upshot Studios, and what they're doing over there, because they are building a universe of these great stories, where they are politically charged stories, and they're good and they're thought provoking. The art in them is really good. I like it. You can see character likenesses of actors and things like that in these books, and I don't necessarily think they have to go that far and make it look like a movie and all that stuff. But hey, they took the time, they did it. For me, it just shows, like, hey, you can draw that person, but then again, maybe they just used models and traced and all that stuff. I don't know. Either way, the art is good in them. The story is good in them. And I just recently got some new comic books that I'm going to be reading and reviewing here for the channel as well, of a new universe starting over on the Absolute Comics group. I was talking a little bit about this yesterday, on Monday, when I was talking about the comic books coming out this week, and I talked a little bit about it yesterday during the comic book pull list, where Absolute Comics Group has a bunch of new titles that launched this week, where they are starting their own, building their own universe, and that's what I want to see. I want to see these universes built with all these different things. Like, we can see everybody kind of, like, a lot of the publishers do that. Marvel's done that. DC has done that. I'm not so sure the Image really has like a bigger universe per se, but we can see that AWA Upshot is doing that. We can see that Valiant Universe has done that. Now, I'm not a big fan of Valiant. I've read a few of the comic books over there, and to me, while they're okay, they're just not catchy enough for me. Like, they don't hook me and reel me in and leave me wanting more. But there's, like I said, there's also a balance to be towed here with a lot of that stuff, and that's why I got these ones from Absolute Comics Group. I wanna get in here and read these and see how they are, because I was talking about them yesterday and on Monday about the art going on in these books. These guys have put together some great art. They got some great covers, and the stories seem to be pretty good so far out of the White Widow series. So I'm gonna get through here. I'm gonna read all these other books. Like I was saying, there's Wayward Legends, there's Wayward Sons, there's what else was there? There was First Defense, there was Dual Identity, Katrina, some of these different ones. And these guys over there reached out to me, and they sent me some copies so I can review them for you all and tell you all about them, because I want to highlight these books because they're great. Now, a lot of these guys do a lot of the crowdfunded comics. Here, and here, I'll show you where they are right now. Absolute Comics. There we go. Right here. See if you guys can see that. Oh man, got all the glare here. Well, I could just read them off for you too. We've got Dual Identity, First Defense, Katrina, Magica, Shadow Children, Wayward Legends, Wayward Sons. Yeah. That's them. So I want to read all these. Check them out. Bring you guys some reviews. I'm gonna, like I said, I was saying yesterday at my local comic book shop. I've got them on order because I want to get them in to at least read and everything like that. Like me, I like those physical copies of books. I love those physical copies of books. But anyway, guys. So yeah, maybe definitely take a take a look at these if you can get into your local comic book shop. Have them order them in. They look really good. Let's see. Should elderlies get get a kind of pass because the times they grew up in? Um. Well, I mean, here's the thing: is like, do they get a pass? Like, what are they doing? You know, what are they doing? What are the elderlies doing? Are they just saying stuff? And that's the ultimate thing. And I get it. Like, a lot of people are hurt by words these days. You know what I mean? I remember when I was growing up, they used to say, "Sticks and stones may break my bones," or "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." Right? They used to say that, and I think we've kind of gone away from that. But I get that words hurt people's feelings and stuff like that. And I get it. Believe me when I say, me of all people, I get that. I get that. But at the same time, it's really more what kind of weight do we put into other people's words? You know what I mean? Like me, like a lot of times, like I don't put a lot of weight into people's words when it comes to certain things. When it comes right down to it. Yeah. Politics is hard to talk about with because most people don't know a thing about government work and don't know how to listen. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I'm like when it comes to the politics, I don't, like I said, I'm not really into the politics anyway. For me, I always think the less government control there is over everything, the better. The better. You know, the better the less government intervention there is in anything, we're just better off. That's just how I feel about it. Some people are okay with the state, and I'm not okay with that, but some people are. Don't forget about the Jack Frost movie. Absolutely, man. And I'm telling you, David Fuller, if you haven't watched it, yeah, the horror Jack Frost movie, that one with Michael Keaton, that don't count. I know what you're talking about. You're trying to bring that up for the best great Michael Keaton movies. No, that Jack Frost movie don't count there. I see you bringing that back around, David Fuller. I see you. No, that don't count. That don't count. The N-word with that hard R doubling down on it when given a chance to take it back. The golden TP rule. Atheism and evolution are religions. You understand what it's like to be an oppressed white man in 2020. Atheism is the exact opposite of religion. Evolution is science, not a religion. Yeah, right. The only moral religion is Trekkie. Oh, man. Are you one of those people aggressively relaxing? You go knocking on people's doors every Saturday morning all early, talking about the wise teachings of Captain James T. Kirk. Atheism is a belief in no God and evolution is an idea to believe or not. Stories. Iris is back. Sorry, no, you're all good. The belief in the worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal God or gods. Yeah, and for me, like I said, for me, like I'm more into nature. I think everything is just kind of like people talk about karma and all that stuff. I think it's just nature. I think ultimately everything just comes down to, and it's not karma, and it's not just nature in itself, but it's the nature. It's just the way things work. You know, we're born, we die. What is it? Death and taxes, the only two things guaranteed in life. I mean, it kind of comes down to that. I mean, like the ultimate question is, do we really matter? Do we really matter? In the whole scheme of things, I would say not. I mean, we're just here. The thing is we want to just try to have a good impact the time we're here and with the people that we're here with and love and enjoy the time that we're here with them ultimately. Vision original have no God hide. Earlier phone calls. Will Gentry, thank you for being here. Okay. Ooh, it's after 9 o'clock. We're gonna be going here soon. Let's get here through the last of these chats. Comic book day, I think. Y'all love arguing definitions. Oh, new comic book day, Will Gentry. New comic book day. Yeah. Oh, you just don't know anything? I'm just open-minded to acknowledge there's more than one definition for words these days. People just nitpick what definition fits their narrative. Absolutely. That's true, Iris. That's true. Oh, man. Hey, guys. Come on, man. See? You can't talk about You can't talk about. That's the one thing that you can't talk about online. There's a few things. You can't talk. You shouldn't talk politics, religion, or nerd shit. Oh, it's not words that hurt. It's the intent in which they are used. Just saying. Yeah, it could be. It could be. Sometimes I think people look too far into it, and obviously people put a lot of backhanded statements out there. Hell, I've done it. I've done it. Just, oh man, you. I'm telling you, you should have seen me when I was at work, man. I'm telling you, like the guy, you know all those people that you work with who won't say anything, who the person they won't say anything. You know what I'm saying? They won't say nothing. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. When I was at work, like, dude, like, there was times when we were in some of the meetings, because we were in some of the management meetings. We'd be sitting there, and the store manager would ask some stuff, or there's a couple times when we had meetings with the market manager, like, anybody else got anything on what we're talking about here? And I'd be like, right here, and people, you could tell people like, shit, man, this dude getting ready to say it, and I would say it. And then I'd be done, and I'd be sitting there. I'd let everybody know. I'll point the fingers. I'll break it on down and be real. And I'd let everybody know, hey, I know I'm not innocent, and let me know any of my shortcomings. I'm okay with that. But we can't move forward and improve without somebody saying something, and I'm willing to say something. Nobody else in here is willing to say it. I'll say it. I'm not afraid of, like, the whole, all that stuff. People, coming after me, the mob and all that stuff. Dude, I'm telling you, I dealt with that stuff plenty in actual real life, not on online life. So, yeah. I'm not the guy to not say anything. And, sometimes the repercussions, I'm cognizant of them, and sometimes I just dismiss them because I'm just like, it doesn't matter. It's something that needs to be said. I have a friend, we constantly roast each other to keep our skins thick. Absolutely. Steve Denton, where I grew up at, on the good old days growing up on 2nd Street, that's what we did. Like, we literally did that. That's what it was all about. You never know the intent, heart behind it, and that's the only thing that matters. Yeah, and I was gonna say, and that's the thing, is you don't always know the intent. The elderly, our government, they make the laws. I don't think they deserve a pass because a lot of them propagate racism. Yeah, absolutely. I'll agree with that, Gray. Totally. You don't know the intent by the text, but how it's delivered via voice tone can be pretty telling. Yeah, absolutely. Tone of voice, body language, facial expressions, absolutely, Irish. That's kind of why I ended up here on YouTube. So people could see the look on my face, the angst in my voice. They can see those little crow's feet on the side as I'm furrowing my brow and making that growling sound and looking into the camera and said, have you had enough yet? How was that? Did it? Yeah, I don't know. 2nd Street, you don't matter at all. Yeah, I know. Well, I'd say it's more than interpretation of the definition that people nitpick over. Often it's one definition, but people argue how they interpret that definition. Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, and you know what that comes from? And I was talking to somebody else about this yesterday. You know what it is? It's this butchering of our language by people like lawyers. That's what it is. So you cannot talk politics or religion. No. Or nerd stuff. Or nerd stuff. Yeah, because the arguments that I see starting in the comments are over nerd stuff, not religion. Yeah, it's politics, religion, and nerd stuff. And that's why I'm going to be starting a show soon, guys, where we're going to get together and we're going to talk about everything. We're going to get it off our chests. And what we're going to do is we're going to listen. That's all we're going to do, because during these streams I'm going to do, they're going to be live streams, but they are only going to be members. They're going to be members only live chats. So people tuning in that aren't members of the channel won't be able to comment on them. It's going to just be members. So nobody's in there getting into little spats or fights or anything. It's just going to be a conversation. We're all just going to sit down and we're going to talk and we're going to listen. That's all we're going to do. I think it'll be fun. Because sometimes we often get interrupted in what we're trying to say or our points or whatnot. And it's, and it gets us off track. It gets us off point. So it's gonna be fun. We're gonna do some of those things. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Um, and talk is always better than text. Absolutely, yeah, and in person, absolutely too. Interpretation is subjective or objective. I always get those two confused these days. Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. Um, Subjective equals opinion. Objective equals measurable facts. Right. Absolutely. You used to be able to talk nerd stuff, but now it's become toxic too. People seem to have stopped listening and start. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not a member, but how you gonna stop me? Oh, that's funny. That is brokest. You're discriminating against the broke. No. Well, and I'm not sure how all that works because I think like later when once it's uploaded on the channel and it's not live, I think you'll be able to go in there and leave your comments. It's just during the live stream it'll be members only. And that's only going to be because just to avoid distractions when we're getting into the kind of chat, into the kind of chat. But it's not going to be for the stream itself. Won't be for members only. The stream itself won't be for members only. Yeah. Elby says, "Fact is, I hate you." Oh man. Oh, that's funny. Oh, brokest. XR Coon, you're funny, man. You're funny. And XR Coon, was that you that refollowed me on Twitter? I was sure I seen a new profile come up, but I was like, I don't know, because there's a lot of trolls out there on Twitter. I was like, maybe is this one of those sock accounts? Somebody else made a fake account and this isn't XR Coon. Let me know, because I didn't follow it back because I was gonna message, but then I'm like, man, that doesn't work. I'll just wait till XR Coon's in the chat again. Yeehaw says making you stop. Hence why I say subjective and objective are confused now. Right, all right. There's isms for everything now. It's kind of stupid. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, for me, I just want people's inputs. I want to hear people's thoughts. That's what it's more about than anything. Just hearing what somebody else had to say. Just listening. Just listening. Because far too often, we're just looking to respond. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel. Once again, I apologize about the delay on the stream. My computer went boomer status. My computer is boomer status, even more so than me. So there was a delay, and I apologize to Gun Pedro about the thumbs up thing if I upset you in any way, because like I said, for me, I'm open to having any conversations and really hearing anybody's viewpoint when it comes to their views on just about anything. I'm okay to listen to it all, and just because I don't agree with something, I'm not out there to really argue these kinds of things with people neither, because arguing about them is no point, because we're not going to convince each other. That's why it's best sometimes to just sit back and listen and know that we all have different thoughts and different viewpoints. And that's one of the things I value out of a lot of people, and one thing I miss about working at my old job, where I got to interact with a bunch of different people and a bunch of different personalities, because I like all that different input, all those different interactions, where a lot of people, they're uncomfortable with confrontations, with interactions and things like that. For me, I love it. I love it because, like I said, I can't gain new perspective without it. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for this video today, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel. If you're not already, please make sure you're subscribed. Click the little bell and all that good stuff. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, feel free to give it a thumbs down too. It's all good. I totally understand. I don't look into it that much. But while you're at it, make sure that you share it with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the Second Street Marvel. You all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you in the next video. Let's see if I can get this thing shut off now. Later.